This conference will now be recorded.
Tomorrow we have Ugadi festival, so no class tomorrow. We will join on Wednesday. And for Wednesday, please use this GoToMeeting link for joining the session. I'm just pinging. Yeah, I pinged you. Can you everybody copy that? Revanti, Uha, and Naveen. This is a new link ending with 485. If you copied, can you confirm, please, so that nobody will miss it? Revanti, can you please you also confirm, please? Right, right. Naveen. Naveen, have you copied this link for Wednesday session? Can you confirm, please, Naveen? Okay, Naveen.
Yes, Madam.
Right, right. Thank you. So anyway, so on Wednesday we were discussing about shared libraries. So on that day, it somehow has not worked, but later after session, I tried again, but I'm not sure why it happened on that day, but it worked, which is working now. So what you do, I have uploaded this. So we have two files actually. One is welcome. Let me show you. You practice it, okay? If you are not able to get it, let me know. So we'll help you out. So in the repository, you clone this one, common Jenkins. You can clone this one. Any basic doubts in cloning in anything, let me know, please. So you clone it and push it to your own repository, right? You create. I hope you're doing the same way. You create your own account, clone it from here, get this link, right? HTTPS link. You copy it and clone it on your local machine, and from your local machine, push this code library code folder to your own repository. Okay. So that way you will have your own copy. So on the day we have created a vars folder. In that we have created one file called welcome message. So in the welcome message, I have added few more methods. Few more methods I have added here. You can try these methods also by calling them, right? For example, if you want to call info, suppose this is a method info method. So by default, method name, if it is call, then by default this method will be called by default. That means in call is a special name, right? That means in the script, here you see in the pipeline, here library, you know these steps I informed you where to add this library. In this step I informed you where it has to be added. After adding that, what you have to do is we have different stages. In the one of the stage, I have said that some message, welcome message. In that steps, welcome message I am saying. But if you observe carefully, this welcome message, and I am also calling another name here, addition. What is addition? So addition is another groovy file. Welcome message is another groovy file. Addition.groovy is another groovy file. Both are different groovy files. If you click on addition.groovy file, I will have methods. In this also, if you observe carefully, one default method is there, that is called default. Means, for example, if you compare with welcome message, I no need to call. Suppose you see here, I'm calling addition dot add. I'm calling. So whenever you want to call a specific method, then you have to say addition. Addition is what? The Groovy file name itself. Whatever file name we give here, the same file name we have to use here. Addition dot add. Add is the method name. So if you click on the addition dot Groovy file, add is the method name. In this method name, in the square, in the parentheses, I am passing x comma y. This x and y, it can be a comma b or anything. It could be any name. There is no problem with that. But comma should be there, and two, these are called variables. These are variables. Variables are nothing. I told you, they will hold some data. So x is a variable, it will hold some data, and y is a variable which will also hold some data. That means whenever I'm calling in a pipeline, I'm saying addition dot add. I'm calling this method and I'm passing 10 comma 20, 10 comma 10. That means this 10 will go to x variable, and this comma and 10 again I'm saying this will go to your y variable. Similarly, again I'm calling the same method, but 20 comma 20. This time x will hold 20 and y will hold 20. Those are variables, right? So variables value always we can change again and again, no problem. They always take new values whenever you pass them. But condition is we have to pass two values. Why? Our variable add method, add is a method which is taking two methods, two variables. If you pass, for example, only 20 and you are forgetting about the remaining one, then you will get error. Your pipeline, when you building it at the time, you will get an error. So always remember you have to pass two values. Suppose if you want to add three values, then you have to add one more comma and you can keep another variable something like z. Then you can pass three values. Okay, that is one important. That is a way of calling a method inside a Groovy file. First thing is Groovy file name, right? It is the usage is Groovy file name without extension, right? It's a Groovy file name without extension, and then dot method name, and pass the required values. This is a method. This is the way you have to use. Now addition is a Groovy file name and method is there. But you see, if I want to call this call method, then no need to say dot call. I can simply say addition. I can simply call addition like above. Welcome message. When I say welcome message, then welcome message. By default, the call method will be called, and echo welcome message will be displayed. But suppose this in this step welcome message, in this Groovy file I want to call warning method, for example, and warning takes a message value. Here also info also taking some message value, right? Then what you can do, how can you call them? Same way, addition dot add. Similarly, you have to say welcome message dot info, and you have to pass some message. That message will be displayed here. So to display this message in a Groovy file, they follow some special syntax. To to get this value, you say the curly bracket, you have to put in a curly bracket and use a dollar symbol, and whatever value it contains, that value will be displayed. Echo, I'm saying, right? Echo double quotation info colon that message whatever we sent, that will be displayed. Here addition also, if you observe carefully, what I'm doing here, the sum of $x and $y in the curly bracket I'm putting, that means 10, for example I pass it 10 comma 10, then 10 and 10 will print here, is again the dollar symbol in the curly bracket. I'm saying what? X plus y. That means automatically those will be added inside. This is a Groovy style. We have to write, but we should know how to write in Groovy. We have Groovy syntax. We have if you go to online, we have a tutorial on Groovy as well. But that level of requirement, if it is there, then you can practice Groovy. Groovy is very simple. If you in real time, if you have more if you have to do more on Groovy writing libraries, then you have to go through the Groovy documentation once, right? X plus 5 will print the 20 value. This is the output. And suppose if I want to call multiply, then putting a star is enough. Simple example. I'm not showing a big thing, just I'm showing you how to use the syntax, how to follow the syntaxes, how to use them. That's what I'm trying actually, right? And one important thing, as I already informed you, here in the steps I am calling welcome message, so call method will be called by default. But here, other than call method, if you are calling, then you have to put inside a script that you should understand. If you're calling just addition, then you don't need to write inside script, you can write it outside of the script. So outside of the script means the script ending, a script ending here you can put outside of this, something like this, no problem. No need to put inside a script. Only the calls which you have to call with dot operator or dot symbol, then you can use, you have to put in a script, because Python doesn't know how to call them. So you please practice this and let me know if you have any issues. Let me know, we'll work on it. If you could not able to do it, let me know, but definitely please practice it. We'll come back to shared libraries again whenever it is required. We are not leaving it. Whenever we require, we are coming back. At the time, don't feel it a new topic. Okay, just make yourself familiar with this. Okay, right. Next today we'll try to understand a new topic called SonarQube. SonarQube. So SonarQube, what is SonarQube? SonarQube is, yeah, this is a go to this website. Clean code for teams and enterprises with SonarQube. So empower development teams with code quality and security solution that deeply integrates into your enterprise environment, enabling you to deploy clean code consistently and reliably. Right? So what is this? Actually, our job is our job is setting up the SonarQube tool and integrating it with our Jenkins tool. So that is our job. How to set a SonarQube, that is our job, right? And some settings on the SonarQube dashboard as well. So SonarQube also have its own dashboard. If you come down, you can see how it dashboard looks like. This is the dashboard. You see, this is a dashboard. When we install, we will see that how we can install it. When we install it, then we'll get a dashboard something like this. And you see SonarQube. Here you see projects, portfolios, issues, rules, quality profiles, quality gates. So these are different things we will be trying to observe today, right? So before we navigate to this dashboard, just try to understand why we have to use SonarQube. So actually we are not using it. Actually this has to be used by the developers in real time. What happens is that whenever developers writing their code, the code should have good quality. So assume if there are 10 teams working for a project. So 10 teams are working for a project, and as you know, in IT industry, many people join in between, and in between they will, when they get job, they will go out also, and new people again join. So multiple people coming and going. It's a regular process. That is fine. That's common thing. But thing is that whenever they're joining, then we have to observe what is their so not we actually, the tech lead. So for example, there's a project and the project has to be is to be working, is working on using agile methodology, and in agile methodology there will be multiple teams working on the project. So every team will have their own lead, as I told you, right? Every team, for example, if you take a 10 teams are there working for the same project, and in each team there will be roughly 6 developers will be working, 2 testing team will be working, and 1 scrum master will be there, and 1 tech lead will be there. So developers daily they do their they work on the tasks, and once they are done their task, then testing team will test their task whether they worked it or not properly. But before the developers give it for testing, what they do, they will send that review code to their lead, their team's lead, for code review. The same team's lead will review it, and he will review it and he will comment as well, saying that it looks good. He will say if it is fine, it looks good. Otherwise he will comment out, no, no, I don't understand why you have written like this, can you explain this? So he will ask the developer to come to his desk, and they will discuss, and once he's satisfied, then fine. Otherwise the lead will advise him to write it in a proper way. Similarly, suppose freshers join developers, so they don't follow proper indentation. They will write the code not in a proper way. So tech lead will advise him what to follow, what way to follow. So you'll advise him how the seniors wrote the exam code, observe it, and basing on that, you'll ask him to write the code. So this way, the lead has to guide them. So this is one thing. Another thing is that there will be peer reviews as well. Peer reviews, that means there are 10 teams, right? So what happens, that developer belonging to team A has to send his code review not to his own team lead. He also has to send to another team, some X team is there. For the team lead, he has to send the code review. This is a cross peer reviewing. We say it is a cross peer reviewing, right? So this way, what it makes is that other team members, team lead will give a proper honest feedback. Like that, they do cross feedback. They will take cross feedbacks, right? So these all things happen in real time. Here anyway, as in understanding, nowhere involved with the DevOps engineers, that is fine, no worry. But here these things the developers do regularly, and they will check whether the code is uh, bug free. Any bugs are there, they will check. Is it following security? So if the code having some issues, security issues, then that is will be a problem. Is there any the code written in a proper way without any security issues? And moreover, is this developer written any duplicate code? Sometimes what they do lazily, what they do, they write some 10 instructions, 10 instructions. For example, these 10 instructions, somewhere they have to use it again. Again, they will copy that 10 instructions and they paste in the other file. The logic they will paste in other file. This way code will be duplicated. Instead they can write in a, what do you call, in a function, in a method, proper method, right? Like we have saw just now, right? Like in a method, this is a method. In this method there is only one instruction. You can write 10 instructions inside this, and he can call that method wherever you want to use. Then the 10 instructions will not be repeated, right? These 10 instructions cannot be repeated. So again, duplicate, any duplication is there, whether it is any complex code is there. They also check whether any complex code this person has written. Why? Because if he has written a very complex code, then the new developer, whoever coming, he cannot easily integrate his code with that complex code. He cannot easily integrate it. So the code should be loosely coupled. They say it as loosely coupled. Anyway, this all belongs to developers. Loosely coupled should not be tightly coupled, right? So for that, what actions they have to take, they will take. What advice they have to give as the lead, they will give to the developers. They will take care of those things, right? Right. That is fine. But the same thing, if more teams are there and more reviews, then this will take long time, unless, because the leads also very busy. So they do their own job task, and apart from that, they have to review the code. So again, this is an extra task for them. For that reason, for .NET, they have their own tool, and for Java, there is another tool. So now we have another tool called SonarQube. This SonarQube is a tool which will do all these checks automatically for more than 30 languages. Whatever we discussed just now, which are done by manually by the leads the same thing. SonarQube is a tool which will do. So SonarQube is a static code analysis tool. So SonarQube is a static code analysis tool. Like SonarQube, we have Veracode. This is also another tool. We have Query tool. We have Code Scene tool, right? So many are there, etc. Many more may be there, but I remember these things, these tools, and out of them, SonarQube is popular tool, right? SonarQube is a popular tool. So all we need to understand is that why we are using SonarQube. That you should understand first thing. If you're understanding that, then we can start working on that. Okay, SonarQube is a continuous code quality checking tool, right? The same thing what we discussed just now. So we can do the same. You can do code review using SonarQube tool. This way it will save a lot of time. And very importantly, the clients who has given the project to the teams, they insist more on code coverage. Code coverage. They insist on code coverage. What is the code coverage? So the clients mostly depend on the code coverage results actually. What is code coverage? How many lines of source code is tested by unit test cases, right? In Java, we use a tool called JUnit. JUnit is a testing tool. In .NET, we use NUnit. So like that, we have different tools again for writing test cases as well, right? So how many lines of source code is tested by unit test cases? So the developers, not only testers, testing team will do testing, but what testing they do is different, and what developers has to do, that is different. Developers do unit test cases. That means whenever the developers has to write test cases, they have to write unit test cases, and then they have to write the code. That's reverse actually. That's reverse actually. But they have to write the test cases. That means suppose they have written a program, a function, for example, something like add function they have written. Then for this method, they have to write a test case. So in the test case, they have to pass some dummy values to this method, and they have to test whether this line executed properly or not. So this way, before the code is deployed into the production, the developers have to write test cases. So every method, you see, this is the one method. In this example, we are seeing one method. On this one method, they have to write more than 2, 3, 4 test cases on a single method. They will write one method with properly sending two values, and they will send two text to message string values, and string values cannot be added, right? String values cannot be added. So if not added, then you have to give a message to the user, right? You cannot send string. You have to send only integer values. That message has to be sent, right? So whether the code is sending that proper message or not, that also be tested. And if it's sending only one value, what message is, what error has to get, and whether that error properly handled or not, that also another test. Like that, for every method they have to write multiple test cases. So if there are hundreds of methods, then you can imagine 100 into 4 to 5 test cases means around 4 to 500 test cases they have to write. Who? Developers. So all these test cases, when they run, for example, then when they run, automatically, see, this method is tested. That means assume this having one line, assume this having 10 lines. Then When they're testing it, all the 10 lines are executed or not while testing. The real code, whether, see, in the test case they will call this method. The method will be passed these two values by the test, the test by the test case. The test case will call this method and will pass the value and assume it having 10 lines. All the 10 lines will be, should be executed line by line and line by line, right? So if they are executing, all lines are covered or not, that is called code coverage. All lines of this method are covered or not. So even though you write multiple test cases for this method, till out of these 10 lines, 2 lines are not covered, for example, for some reason. Then the developer has to understand why I have wrote these two extra lines which are not covered. Even though I am writing test case and this test case is calling this method and this method is executing, then all the 10 lines has to be executed, but these two lines are not executing. Why? He will check his logic, and then he understands, okay, by because of that reason these two lines are not called. Then you will think whether really those two lines are required or it can be removed. Then he will decide, okay, I have to remove these lines, or no, I have to modify this logic, then these two lines also will be covered. That way the developer has to do. Then code coverage, that client will ask, what is the code coverage percentage? Client will ask, what is the code coverage percentage? And if the lead say the code coverage is around 95%, then the client will be very happy. 5%, 10% is okay, but the code coverage only 45%, 50%, that means most of the lines are not covered. How the code coverage will come? Only if the test cases written by the developer are executed and the test cases call these methods and these methods are executed and all the lines are covered. Some one or two lines are missed, then the developer will understand why it is missing. If it is really code problem, they will fix it. If accordingly the code coverage has to be improved. The code coverage will come only if the test cases are written properly. No test cases, no code coverage. Remember that. No test cases, there is no code coverage concept. Code coverage will come into picture only if test cases are written. Assume if there is a small company and the client says that what is the code coverage, and assume in the small company the lead never encouraged the developers to write the test cases. The lead never worried about test cases. Without test case also the product can be done. But thing is that if the testing team has if the developers never written the test cases to test their code, then that's a big blunder. Why? The code, you without testing yourself, you are deploying it to the production. Maybe the testing team will test it. The testing team will have their own excel sheet. In the excel sheet they will write some test cases, like if I click this button this should happen. Yes, it's happening. If I drop down this list, all the list items I'm seeing, yes, I'm seeing it. They will check everything is passed, fine, good. But thing is, internally the code is not actually tested line by line. That is very important. Because of one extra line the code may crash anytime. Maybe some other reason. There could be a lot of reasons. So testing team, the test is different, test cases is different. So, and that is the reason if you go to our core quality SonarQube, if you observe here under quality gates, you see quality gates we are seeing here. Quality gates, here it is showing, no problem. Here is a quality gate. Here you see coverage is 76% something it is showing. 76% coverage is showing on 21k new lines to cover. So this much coverage is covered. So client normally will not be happy with 76% also. He will ask, he demand for minimum 85% to 95% code coverage. Why demand? By this the client knows, because if you demand 85% code coverage, then developers at any cost they have to cover it. How they cover it? They have to write test cases. If they write test cases, what happens? They will come to know whether their code really, they will come to know. One moment please, I have to take a call. One moment please. Yeah, sorry. So ultimately, when developers write the test cases, then the code will be covered, and they developers also come to know whether the code is properly working or not. So that is the reason clients insist on code coverage. Anyway, that is different. So SonarQube also providing us that option. It also checks whether the code is covered properly or not. Hope you are understanding. If you have any questions, please let me know. So supports dozens of
Oh,
popular
so
languages. I'm
Madan,
sorry.
Madan, sorry to. My doubt is, so this checking work is for DevOps team or the developer will itself use the SonarQube for this?
As a we will set up DevOps engineer. We will set up.
We will set up the environment to check whether the for the conditions, according to the condition we set up the environment for them, and they will put the code and test it, right?
You are right. You are right. We will send the report to them. Our SonarQube will generate a report.
Okay. After testing
Our
everything.
Yeah, our SonarQube, SonarQube will generate a code review report, code review report, and we will we will send this report to developers. Accordingly, the developers will take actions as per the report. Got it? So
Yeah, yeah,
if
Madan.
you right. So as I telling here, these are all the different languages: Java, Kotlin, C Sharp, VB, C, C++, JavaScript, TypeScript, right? Python, Terraform. So we have multiple Apex. So even Apex belongs to our what is that? Salesforce, right? Salesforce Apex. So for that also we can use SonarQube. So many are Scala is there, Ruby. It supports all these languages, right? We can use this language, but for now, for our example, we will use Java. We will use Java, and moreover, go to a documentation, click on the documentation part here, right? So and if you come down, I will explain all this terminology slowly, don't worry. And we require, when we want to install the setup, anyway installation is another step that will take care. Minimum 2 GB RAM is required. Our T2 micro will not work out. Okay, all right. So normally, see, this is one server, this is another server. This server, on this server, see, instances components. Just I will explain that. Before that, right, you should understand this one thing, important thing. We have two parts. One is SonarQube server, another is scanner, Sonar scanner. We say it as Sonar scanner and SonarQube server. So Sonar scanner is a plugin will be running on one server, the server where the code exists. So this is the source file. Their source files, whatever files the developers has written, those are the files. Our Sonar scanner will scan these all the files and verify whether they are following proper rules or not. So let me duplicate this. One moment, please. Go to SonarQube again. One moment, please. Okay, so it will check whether the code is properly its reliability. In the reliability, how many bugs are there, what the code smells. So code smells means nothing but your code unmanageable. If the code is written unmanageably, then it say it as a code smell. The code should be manageable, right? Any security issues, any hotspots. So all these things our sonar scanner will verify. Our sonar scanner will verify. But how it verify? Sonar scan, how it verify? So scanners and language analyzers will run on the source code, and it will send the report to the SonarQube. It will the scanner will scan this code and send the report to SonarQube. But Sonar scanner actually, before scanning the source code, it will has to fetch the rules. The rules, whatever rules we have mentioned. So please understand, without SonarQube, what are the rules? What are the rules actually? How the code should be written? What is the code syntax should be followed? What is the indentation should be followed? Okay, the code duplicate should not be there. All these things, right? All are various rules are there, right? So these rules, every senior developer used to check. Since a senior developer, they used to do the code review, right? So they know all the rules. That is in their mind actually. Because of the experience, they can easily follow their own rules. But here the same rules are added to the SonarQube server. The rules are added to the SonarQube. So that means the senior person who used to remember and he used to uh, uh, review the code, that whatever the rules he has remembered, that standard rules are now added to the SonarQube server itself. So no need to remember and no need to do any code review as well, because SonarQube will automatically take care of those things, because SonarQube already feed it with all the required rules. If you come here in this picture, you see here rules. You see we have an option called rules here, the fourth menu, rules. In these rules I will show you, once we install I will show you. In this, for every language, we have 30 languages, right? For every languages they have different rules allowed, added. Around 500 600 rules will be there. So carefully the SonarQube developers added all the rules and to this under the SonarQube dashboard, under the rules section. And if they if they miss any rule, no problem, the developers can ask us to add one more rule, we can add it. So we will set up this dashboard and we will apply the rules, but the developers will ask us, say that don't use these rules, use these rules. They will give some rules, we can add them, no problem. How to do those things, we'll see, right? We have to create a new rules, so that comes under quality profile. In the quality profile we can write our own rules, and then that the rules can apply and we can add into the rules now. So these things will discuss what is quality profile and what is rules, right? Right. So this sonar scanner will pull these rules from the sonar. Rules is there, right? Sonar scanner will pull that rules which are mentioned in this SonarQube server. That means sonar scanner is running in another server and our SonarQube server is running in another server, but they are both can communicate. Our sonar scanner will follow the rules mentioned over the SonarQube server. According to as per the rules, it will run the scanning on the source files. Accordingly, the report will be generated by the scanner, and that report will be sent to SonarQube server. And SonarQube will do what? That will the report, it will display in a beautiful format. How? In this way. See, in the when you click on issues, it will show the issues. Under issues, it will show issues. For example, here I see, welcome to SonarQube. Here is an interactive product tour that highlights key features you can take advantage of to start your clean code journey. Next, you see in the screen we are on the projects. You see different projects are there already ran here. So this one project, this another project, and this another project. So every project having, is this project having one bug? See, bug 1, vulnerability is 0, code smells 8, coverage, no coverage has done here. So this way multiple projects you can will be shown on under the project section. If you click on next option, we go to portfolio. Under what is an overview, right? In the overview, if you click on one project, for example, in the various parameters will be shown here. Click on the next now. Where we are, uh, along with the health, that is ignore it. But where we are now, okay, under issues. See issues. Now when you click on issues, what it is showing, every issue is showing one by one. This is an issue, and this is an add at least one assertion to test this code. So assertions, so when they write, developers know this very well, we don't need to worry. Assert, they use assertions like no, whether they now, whether a and b values are sent, a and b values are sent to this, instead of integers it has sent strings. So you should give a proper message, so that is an assertion. So whether that assertion is coming or not, don't worry, these things developers will understand very well. They have to write proper assertions. So that is what it is saying here, that the under issue section it will show issues as well, and also it will say advice as well. So add at least one assertion to this test case, so that way it will advise as well. So who have to read these issues? Not us. When we send the link to the report link to the developers will read this, they will go this line by line, not we. I'm just helping you out how it looks like, that's all. So developers will go one by one. If you know these things, then only you will understand what is the use of SonarQube. Tomorrow you may be using SonarQube, or tomorrow you may be using another tool, Code Scene or some other tool may be using. But whatever tool you are using, you should understand first of all what is this tool is for, right? Deploying, installing it's not a big deal. In 15 minutes we'll install it, no problem, right? These are the issues will be read by the developers and they will fix it. They'll fix it again. They will run the tool again they will run means again the sonar scanner will be executed again, and this time the issues may be fixed. The report will be sent back to again SonarQube, and SonarQube will be displayed on the system. So these issues, all the reports will be normally in real time, we will store in a separate database. In real time we will have to create a database. So we have multiple different databases like Postgres, Microsoft SQL Server, MS SQL. This database we can use, and in that the reports, because in project, right, there are multiple products will be there, and they will be running this scanner multiple times. Every time a new report is generated, right, then there could be hundreds of reports, right? So all those reports can be stored inside a database. Database, is a software which will store information, and whenever you want that data it can quickly search and it will give you whatever data you want. So that is the reason we will store inside a database, right? So end of the day, you should understand there are three components: scanner, SonarQube server, and a database. So the SonarQube server running the following process: a web server that serves a SonarQube user interface. So this is the same user interface which we are discussing. This is the same user interface. A search server based on Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch is another search engine. It's like a search engine, like Google engine, which searches. Similarly, we have Elastic search engine, which is very fast in searching the patterns. We search the files, whatever you want on the database. The compute engine in charge of processing code analysis reports and saving them in the SonarQube database. Okay. So metrics and issues of code quality and security generated during code scans. So all the reports we can say them as metrics as well, right? Metrics or reports are same. Metrics and issues for code quality and security generated during code scans, those will be stored inside the database. One or more scanners running on your build or continuous integration servers to analyze the projects. What it's saying, one or more scanners running on your build or continuous integration servers. That means continuous integration tool. What is our Jenkins? It's Jenkins. We call it as a mediator tool, or we also call it as a continuous deployment tool, right? So initially we will do manually. We will set up this everything manually. Once you know in and out, then we will see how we can integrate this with our Jenkins tool itself. On the Jenkins tool, we will integrate our scanner, right? That we'll see how to integrate with the Jenkins. So what are we doing today? We may not complete today, but tomorrow is holiday. Tomorrow is Ugadi festival. Tomorrow we don't have class, so we will join on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we will understand in depth. One moment, please. Did I send anybody joined just now? No, right? Okay. On Wednesday, we will join. Tomorrow, no class, please. Tomorrow Ugadi, right? I believe tomorrow is Ugadi. If tomorrow is Ugadi, no class tomorrow. We'll join on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we'll continue the session. But as of now, let me continue some more time. Okay, so that is about it. Meanwhile, what we do immediately, we'll create our instance. We'll set up an instance, and we'll see how we will generate the code. If you give some time, we'll complete as well. If possible, if you give some time, we'll complete the demo as well. Let's see how it goes. If does not, if you cannot complete it, no problem. We can work it on Monday as well, no problem. Sorry, Wednesday as well, no problem. Let's now create an instance now. First of all, one thing you should understand, we should have some code, right? Go to our see go to repositories. Don't have repository. Okay, I don't have repository now. Okay, let's take a shopping repository. For example, we'll take a shopping repository and we'll see. But okay, before shopping repository, anyway, let's see that. Launch an instance. Here, let's create one instance. Here, I will create a Maven server. Why we require Maven server? Let's see that as well. Amazon Linux I'm taking. T2 Micro. See, this time what I'm doing is, as per this picture, I'm creating a server. This part, left part, not on the right part. I'm not creating this one. I'm creating the only the server where the code is there. Code as of now don't have, but let me build our existing code and try. Now for that, I don't want any T2 Micro is enough for that. Uh, Launch this instance. Right.
Madan, I can't see your screen.
Oh, is it? Uh,
Yes, now
just
visible.
now visible, right? Okay, okay. Right, right. Now it is running now. Let's connect to it. Show more options. So where I am downloads, right? Just a moment, please. So let's become one minute, please. Let's become a root user, and then just change its name, Maven server. Clear the screen. Now, what happened here? I want to pull my code. Shopping web project is there, for example. Okay, I moved it to FedEx, right? Something here, I think. Yeah, just clone this. git clone. Okay, by default git is not there. I thought it will be there. Git is not there, it seems. Okay, so simply yum install. It's we're using Amazon, right? Yum install git -y. So now git clone ls. Now we have new folder. Now we have the content. Now see, in real time the developers will give us the these folders, and one important folder is called file is called pom.xml file. Okay, pom.xml file. This pom.xml file contains information about like various things. One of them is dependencies. How the project they written, what code, suppose they have written, the code will be in the source folder. Normally the code will be in the source folder. If you go to the source folder, here they will have the source folder inside the main folder. If they have any test cases, so in the web app they have the source code. If they have any test cases, when I say cd src main, here another folder should be seen with name source, with name source, right? So here we don't have test cases. That is the reason I could not see here the name source. Now if you go to pom file, vi pom file, so this is a pom file, and in this file they have mentioned some dependencies. So in the dependencies, what they are saying is, I want JUnit, I want JUnit so and so version. Why they are asking for JUnit? Why? Because see, why I'm explaining this pom file. In this pom file we no need to do anything, but few things we need to do now and then. For example, I want to interact with the SonarQube, then you should know the how the pom file looks like, and what we have to, if I want to add something, where I have to add those details, you should know minimum. Suppose I want to connect it to SonarQube. As per this architecture, I'm saying that I have to connect to my SonarQube. This sonar scanner will connect to the SonarQube. How it can connect? So those things we should know, right? So, but before connecting to SonarQube, let us understand what a pom file will contain. Pom file, here they saying the developer added here. This thing is added by the developer. Developer saying that I want JUnit because I have written some test cases. The test cases will be built using a tool called JUnit tool. JUnit is a tool, software tool, that should be there. If that is there, only then the each test cases can be executed by that JUnit program, right? And what else? File name, another plugin is there. Here you see a plugin is there called Maven War plugin. Version 3.31 is a Maven plugin. Why is Maven required now? As I told you, Maven is a build tool. Here in Java, most of the time we have POM file. But if you're working with Angular or React or .NET, they will have different file called packages. They have different file packages. In the packages, they will mention all the dependencies. For React application, they are also in the package, they will mention what version they want, what this React application depending on which file, Angular application depending on which file, everything mentions in the packages file. Similarly, Java file, they follow not packages, they follow a different file called pom.xml. Object model, object model, I think they call it as object model or pom.xml file. So whatever they want, if this project depending on another plugin like JUnit, then under dependencies, this is one dependency, another dependency you can insert below this dependency. This dependency started here, ended here, and another one you can add below here. So Now, this Maven build tool knows how to build, but Maven requires POM file. Maven understands only POM file. So, basing on that, Maven will build the application. So, Maven build the application at the same time. Maven also do another job, that is pulling the dependencies, the plugins. It will pull the dependencies. Here, the programmers depend written JUnit, but JUnit Maven knows how to pull it. From where it has to pull it, Maven knows. Maven not only build tool, it's also you can say it as a Maven repository tool as well. Maven repository tool also we can say, because Maven maintains its own repositories. What is repository here again? Maven repos. You see, it's a Maven repository. Here, multiple. These are all different dependencies. If you want, you can deploy them. How you can deploy them? For example, I want Spring Boot. For example, mostly developers use Spring Boot, a software, a framework. They use Spring Boot framework. Now click on search box. You see there are some Spring Boots are there. Suppose I'm not much good about it, but anyway, I want to use this Spring Boot for example. Click on it. When you click on it, you see it is saying repository central. It is saying central. It is saying central. What is the central? Another topic. See, don't confuse. We are slowly landing back to Maven, right? Because SonarQube involves with Maven. So if you know little more about Maven, then you will understand SonarQube as well. The steps we do with the SonarQube when we integrating in POM file, you better know Maven as well. It's a good time to understand Maven a little bit more as well. Now press here. Now here you see, I told you Maven is a build tool. Nice, we know this already. Now Maven is also a repository. Okay, are you understanding? Hope you are understanding. Okay, so in repositories also, in Maven repository also, as three different types. One is central repository. We already saw it. See, these topics are very important. Listen carefully, because when we're learning our artifactory tool called JFrog, we are going to learn JFrog, right? We have Nexus and JFrog. What is Nexus? What is JFrog? Also, we should understand what is the requirement. You till now you don't know SonarQube. The requirement I explained you. Similarly, JFrog or Nexus tool, both are same tools by different companies. So we have chosen JFrog. So JFrog also having the same concept, central repository concept, remote repository concept, local repository concept is there. So here central repository, if you understand this one, then JFrog you can easily understand. So Maven helps you to understand JFrog as well. So we have three types. So when a developer written is when he provided as a Maven file, POM file, then POM file something looking like this, right? And we have to download this one JUnit. Now suppose I want to install I want a new plugin called Spring Boot. Then our Maven will pull it from the central repository. So here in the central repository, this tool having various versions, 3.24, 3.23, many versions are there. Assume I want this particular version 3.20 or 3.22. Click on it. When you scroll down, You get a snippet here. You see carefully, dependency. This is another dependency. So what you have to do? Simply you can copy this. For example, you can copy this, and then don't worry. These things we won't do. We won't do. This is all done by the developers. And then in this code, go to insert mode, and you can come over here, enter. Here you can paste it. Right click and you can paste. Don't say Control V. You will get some different characters over there. So just tap them. This is indentation. So proper indentation has to be maintained. Just you paste and go, then other person will face difficulty while using this palm file. So proper indentation has to be maintained when you working. But anyway, very rare case you work on it. But anyway, when you are using SonarQube, at that time also you work on it. So you see here this line escape now. Now press on escape button. Now this line is not, this is a comment. You see the palm file, they will write a comment like this, less than symbol exclamation mark tilde. This line I don't want. Then dd, type dd, this will be deleted. It's gone now. Now you see one more dependency. It's nicely packed between the dependency tag. So we are saying something dependency. I want to run this project. Whatever project the developers might have written, they know the dependencies. We don't know, right? They only add the dependencies over here. Whatever dependencies they want, they will add it. So what happens is our Maven tool will pull them when you execute. When you, what you do with Maven? What operations do you do with Maven? With Maven, what are the Maven goals? What are the matter goals we know? Till now we used clean, package, right? We have compile as well. Compile to what? It converts a .java file to .class file. What is class file? It's nothing but a bytecode. Don't get into deep. So it is one of the intermediate stage. It is one of the intermediate stage before it converted to a binary file. Before it converted to a binary file. So when you run compile, then it will convert the Java dot file to a class file. But no need to say separately compile. Whenever we do clean and package, clean do what? I told you clean will do what? It will delete the var files, binary files already existing. You know, right? Whenever we executed on our Jenkins, we saw a target file was used to created on our Jenkins folder. In this, we used to see something dot star var file, if you remember. So when you do clean, what happens? This two target folder completely deleted. And when you say package, internally package do what? It will do multiple things. It will run multiple goals actually. It will run test as well. So testing will also be done. So how is the testing will be done? As per the palm file. In the palm file, we have the, what we have? Sorry. In the palm file, we have JUnit, right? JUnit will be already installed. When you say clean package, package internally calls test goal. Immediately test will be started using the JUnit plugin. The JUnit plugin will do what? It will execute all the test cases written by the developer. That will be done, and then compile goal also will be called. So that is the reason we no need to call them separately. Compile, test, we no need to call them. When you say package, it will internally call test as well as compile as well. And then we have deploy also. Like that we have multiple various goals we have. So now when Maven repository, I said 3 repositories, then Maven will pull the dependencies from the central repository. But wait, the Maven will not blindly pull from the central repository. Why it is pulling from the central repository? Because the dependencies, whatever we see here, these plugins, here only 2 are there, but in real time we will have multiple dependencies. And these are all the softwares. Dependencies are nothing but plugins. We call them as a plugins. Dependencies are nothing but dependencies are nothing but plugins. Plugins are again nothing but softwares or softwares. So the softwares ultimately the Maven will pull as per the POM file. It will pull from central repository, but before it pulling from the central repository, it will check for the local repository first. In the local repository, whether the dependency already available. If it is available, it will not go to central repository. It will pick it from the local repository itself. It will not go to central repository. But assume it is not there in a local repository, it will fetch it from the central repository. Once it is fetched from the central repository, then the whatever it has fetched, those will be moved into the local repository. Why? So that next time when you say package, so when the code is compiled and built, at that time it has to pull the code, pull the plugins as well. This dependence also it has to pull. This time it won't pull it from central repository. It already stored in the local repository. It will store it, and from there it will pick it up. So the local repository where it exists, it normally exists if you're using Linux. If you're using Linux, it will store exists inside your root folder. Inside it will create a hidden folder called M2 folder. It is a hidden folder. That's the reason it will name with .m2. In the .m2 folder, it will have a repository folder. Inside it will store the repositories, all the plugins it will store. So first time it will pull it from central repository, but next time when you run again, it will not pull it from central, it will pull it from the local repository. If it is a Linux machine, but if it is a Windows machine, very simple. In place of root, you will find where you will find you will have in Windows you will have users folder. In the users folder, you have to go to the users folder, right? In that local, I think in that you will have .m2 and repository local or something. Okay, this way if you're running on Windows, normally we won't run, mostly 95% we work on Windows only, as Unix only. So here is the users folder. Go to users folder. In this here, in this it will store. You see .ssh, all dot is there, right? Similar .m2 folder will be there, like .ssh you'll see .m2 folder. But anyway, now here, and what is remote repository then? What is remote repository? Remember, every company cares about security, right? Every company cares about security. So they cannot uh, pull them all the time. They cannot pull it from the internet, right? They will download them, the particular versions, and they will store them in remote repositories. What is remote? For remote repository, the company will use Nexus tool or JFrog tool. They will use Nexus or JFrog tool. What are these? These are the softwares which the companies will use. In this, they will store, they will use them as a remote repository. That means, suppose in a company there are 10 teams are working, 10 different projects are working, and these 10 different teams, they using, some teams are using Java, some are using .NET, some are using Angular JS, something like that. Then those softwares related to Java, Angular, .NET, all will be stored under JFrog or Nexus repository. Because local repository is nothing but my own machine. It will store in my local machine. But central repository, it again belongs to the company. For example, here is a central repository belongs to Maven. Maven is the owner, and left with what? Local now. Now I am a developer. I don't want to go to again and again to central repository, but I want to go to my company provided remote repository. This is accessible only to employees of that company. Only employees of that company can access them, who having permissions to access the JFrog tool or in access tool. Then what is advantages we getting? Advantage we getting is, already there are some softwares already over there. Then whenever I build my application, then my Maven will go first to my Nexus tool or JFrog tool. It will check first will check in the local repository. If it is not available, then it will go to Nexus, my Nexus or JFrog repository. What are those? Those are remote repository. After that, even in remote repository, those dependencies are not found. Only then it will go to the central repository. And once we pull it from the central repository, next time onwards, whatever we pull from the central repository will be stored in local repository as well as on our remote repository. Why? Now next time when you try, it won't go to central repository. It will pull it either from local repository or from the your remote repository. Remote repository only specific to your company. Central repository is for public. Anybody can use it. Local repository is specific to that particular developer. Please let me know if you have any questions in understanding the central repository, remote repository, and local repository. I hope you are not exhausted. Tomorrow is holiday. That is the reason I'm just took advantage to take few minutes extra. So, are you all in sync? Can you confirm, please?
Yeah, Madan.
Okay. Uha Revanti, if you're exhausted, I will stop here. If not, give me 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes more. Exhausted? Swaraj?
You can continue, Madan.
Okay, okay.
No issues, Madan. We can continue.
Thank you. So where I am? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm where I'm. Okay. Let me. Now see we have FedEx now. What happened? So it's POM file. Now what I will do, I have to install Maven now. We have not installed Maven. We have installed Maven but on Jenkins, right? Maven plugin we have installed. So how to install Maven separately if you want? Very simple. We can use yum install Maven hyphen y. But Maven depends on Java. Java is required, right? Java is required to install. So if I say Java version, we don't have Java here, right? We have to install Java, right? So any version is fine. For Maven, in any version is fine. Java, let us install Java version 17. If you don't know how to install, you can Google it, no problem. You can, if you don't know, you can simply download from internet and then install Maven. Here the steps are install Java. This is Java. Okay. And here at the end, put -y and enter. It will be installed. And then what is the command to install Maven? Some button is pressed somewhere on my laptop. It's giving some issue. understanding which one is it. Bear with me, some button is pressed and it creating some problem. Anyway, next is yum install maven -y. Now Java is installed. The next is yum press y. If you don't give -y, it will ask you like this. Okay, that's the reason I'm giving -y every time. Maven also done. So how to test Maven version? See, we have for installing I have used full name Maven, but the command will be, the binary file will be name is Maven mvn -v -version. So it shows that command should be Maven. So it's saying Maven home, Maven is installed here. Jenkins installed where and inside that lib folder, inside that Jenkins installed. Maven installs here. SonarQube, it installed inside /opt. So every software have its own specific location. But anyway, Maven is installed here. Fine, nice. Now clear the screen. Now I am inside the FedEx project, right? If I come out of it, FedEx out of it. Now ls. Now if I run out to, now I want to compile. I want to clean and compile. If I say that, how can I say it? Maven, simply Maven, and then clean. If I say clean, for example, and then compile. Then compile, it requires POM file. Compile or clean, it requires POM file. But here in the, we are at where we are. We are not inside the FedEx folder. We are outside of it. POM file is not there. Only folder is there. POM file is not there. When you run it, Maven should complain us saying that I am not finding POM file because it is depending on POM file. Enter. So it's saying that scanning for projects, build failure. The goal you specified requires a project to execute, but there is no POM in this folder. Please verify you invoked Maven from the correct directory. That is a clear explanation, right? Now go to, now here we have POM file. Now we can execute our previous command. Now observe carefully. Before that, we should understand one more important thing. Cd ls ls -a. See, a .m2 folder is created. You see, .m2 folder. When you use install Maven, a .m2 folder will be created. Let's get inside it. Cd .m2 ls. One repository folder is there. Let's get inside it. ls. Anything is there? It's empty, right? Empty. Now, as I told you previously, now as I told you, initially it will, when first time it will pull it from central repository if it does not find it in the local repository. That is what it will do now. As of now, no repository, nothing is there. It will pull the from the central repository and all the plugins it will copy in this repository. As of now, it's empty. We'll come back to this location in a minute and let's get into our folder and let's run our application. So Maven, you see Maven, and moreover, please observe carefully. We have src folder. We have src folder. If I say directly Maven package, which we used to do multiple times, what is happening? You just try to understand. It is downloading. If you observe carefully, it is downloading. Build success. It is downloading from central. You see, downloading from central. All the required files, everything has been downloaded. Everything is downloaded. Now let me run this command again. Let me run this command again. Maven package. I'm not doing even clean also. Okay. Let me do clean. See what happens if I do clean. ls, you see a target folder is created. If I do only clean mvn, if I do only clean, what happens? the target folder will be deleted. Enter. So it's saying what? Deleting root target. Remember, this package, this clean is a program. Package is a program. It's not exactly a program actually. Those are the parameters. If you remember our shell script, in the shell script, what we used to do, we used to do something like sh space some shell script dot sh, and then we used to pass some values, 10 comma 10 and space 20. This way we used to pass. Then 10 20 will be sent, and 20, 10 and 20 will be added, and you will get the output, right? Similarly, 10 or 20 are the parameters we're passing to the Maven shell script or any shell script. Similarly, here Maven is a program. To this program, I'm sending a parameter saying that clean. So internally the program will be, it will be inside the program, in the Maven program, it will be like this. If, okay, if it is clean, okay, then delete target folder, right? Similarly, for everything there will be if inside the Maven program. If it is a package, then it will do multiple lines. It will do multiple things. What? Compile. First of all, before compile, test it. If testing is good, then compile. You compile generates bytecode. Then create the binary files and create the var file. Create the var file. So compile will do what? It will create the dot class file or nothing but your bytecode. So all these steps it will do. But if you don't do, package do all the three steps. But if you do something like, if you write something like, if you pass clean and test, then it will another if statement. First it will delete, and then it will do the testing task. So it will, whatever values you are passing. So if you pass a package, all will be, these three things automatically done. Here it will automatically take care. No need to do that. So these are just parameters. Goals are nothing but your parameters. But anyway, that is anyway. Now let me type ls now. There is no target folder now. It has been removed. When I say clean, previously, when I say clean, it has been removed the target file. Clean do what? It will just delete it. Now then again what I'm do, I'll just say compile. Only compile I'm doing. Observe carefully. Nowhere it has downloaded any file. It has not at all downloaded any file. Yes or no? It's not downloading any file. Simply what it did, it is not scrolling. What is the problem? Some problem happening here. Something is problem. Oh, 1 moment, please. If something happens like this, no problem. Just close this window. Close this window. Something with the editor. Okay, something with the editor. So what I can do? Simply copy it again. Give 3 more minutes. By sharp 11, I will close. Show more options. Git bash here. Clear the screen. Now it looks fine. ls. Oh my god. A sudo -i. What happened to my folder? Yes, it is there. cd fedx. Yes, it is there. Now ls source file is there. Then what I will do? Maven clean only compile. Build failure. What it's saying? I'm saying I've said clear, right? That is a mistake. It should be clean. It should be clean goal. Enter. Without downloading anything, it's very cleanly. What it did, it skip non-existing resources. Okay, it is see Maven clean plugin ran. Okay, and finally build no sources to compile. See, no files, no Java files available to compile. That is the reason. Tomorrow we will see on Wednesday. Tomorrow means Wednesday. We will see this how we can, how a Java file will be. I will get some sample Java files and will compile them. Anyway, ls again. Now go to cd ls ls hyphen a, go to our .m2 folder, ls, go to repository, ls. You see, these are all the files. JUnit is a software. These are all pulled from the central repository. So when you run first time, it will be pulled. Next time they will not be pulled. That is what I am trying to convey to you. The first time only they will it will connect to central repository. Next time or not, it will go to local repository. After completing SonarQube, we will go to JFrog, and when we go to JFrog, at that time we will see how to pull from remote repository as well. Today we saw both options, central and local. Tomorrow on Wednesday we'll see, not on Wednesday, after completing SonarQube, we will work on JFrog as well, and then we'll complete this remote repository as well. So, and what is another important thing I want to show you is, similarly, for example, cd ls cd fedex. Now ls again, if I say only test part, only if I say test, what it has done, that what it has done, automatically only one goal I have given, compile, uh, test compile has happened, finally testing has happened. It's saying no tests to run. At the end it has done, but before that what it has done, compiled. That means the compile we have not, the goal we have not mentioned, but it includes, the test includes compile as well. Because the code should be proper, right? If the code is not proper, then how can the test can be executed? If code is having bug, then the application will not run. If it does not run, then test cannot be executed, then cannot be tested. It has to be compiled first. Another important thing I forgot actually. Okay, any questions please from your side? I just tried to recollect. I just thought of explaining, I forgot it. What is that? I forgot. Yeah, please, can you respond? If you have no doubts, we will end this session. If before I recollect, we can end it out. Uh, what is the other option? Okay, if you say Maven package, Maven clean, yeah, Maven validate. See, what is Maven validate do? Maven validate checks, what it checks. It checks whether the project having all the dependencies available or not, whether the project contains the required dependencies available in the local repository or not. Everything it will check whether the dependencies whatever we mentioned are really properly, those the names are correct or not, are invalid plugins, what are we asking are invalid, so that will be validated. The POM syntaxes, everything it will validate, right? When you say Maven clean and package, and as you know, package will do compilation, testing, everything in one shot. It doesn't compile as well testing. Now if you know, where file also created. Now where it is created, in the, as you know, target folder in the shopping site website. Now ls, now go to target, ls, where file is there. Okay, I will end this session. Thank you very much for giving extra time. So we will meet on Wednesday at same time at 9:30 a.m. and the new link I mentioned, please use that and join. And wish you advanced Ugadi. uh, Enjoy the festival. Thank you, and please take care.